Have you ever wondered what truly makes someone, command attention in a crowded world?
Mm.
Is it just talent or hard work, or is there something else?
Like a hidden strategy, maybe.
Exactly. Today, we're diving into a fascinating stack of sources you've shared with us, all centered around uh, a powerful idea from a classic text: the principle of attracting attention at all costs.
Right. So to kind of set the stage for our deep dive,
Hmm.
the core concept from the material is that, well, everything is judged by its appearance. What is unseen counts for nothing.
Okay.
So we're going to unpack this, really pull out the critical nuggets and, frankly, some surprising facts about how certain individuals have just mastered this art of being seen.
Okay, now this first idea from our sources, it's pretty provocative, almost unsettling, actually.
Which one?
The idea that it's better to be slandered and attacked than ignored. That just sounds counterintuitive, doesn't
It
it?
really does.
What's the logic there? Did people actually embrace this, or is it maybe more of an extreme take?
Well, it sounds extreme, but the material puts it very bluntly. Make no distinction between kinds of attention notoriety of any sort will bring you power.
Wow.
Yeah. The key insight here isn't just about, like, doing outrageous stunts. It's the really radical idea that any attention, even negative attention, is still a form of validation.
Hmm?
And it sort of inherently builds legitimacy. For someone like P.T. Barnum, being ignored was basically the worst thing imaginable.
And yeah, no one embodied this more than Barnum, or America's premier 19th century showman.
Absolutely. A master.
He was just a master of turning heads, sometimes with pretty chaotic results, like the Reverend Ephraim K. Avery incident, 1836 Annapolis.
Yeah, that one's wild.
Barnum, who was just an assistant then, was nearly lynched by an angry mob. Can you even believe it?
And why?
Because his boss, this guy Aaron Turner, cynically spread a rumor linking Barnum to Avery.
The infamous Reverend acquitted of murder, but, everyone still thought he did it.
Right. And Barnum had to desperately plead with the crowd, get them back to the circus just to prove who he was.
And Turner just admitted it was a joke.
Yep. Turner's explanation to a furious Barnum was just chillingly pragmatic. He said, it was all for our good. People talk about it. They will never forget.
Wow, that's the core of it right there. Any talk is good talk.
And Barnum learned that lesson early, didn't he? And applied it relentlessly.
Oh, absolutely. He really did. He was a master of public spectacle, always using the unexpected to pull in crowds.
Like the Brick Man in New York City. That's a great example.
Explain that one.
He hired a beggar, gave him 5 bricks, and told him to just walk slowly around a specific route. Lay one down, keep one, pick them up on the way back.
And the key was?
Stay serious, answer no questions, and eventually lead the curious onlookers right into Barnum's American Museum.
It's brilliant in its simplicity, isn't it?
Totally. By the 4th time around, hundreds, then thousands were following him, debating what he was doing.
And loads of them ended up going into the museum.
Exactly. The police actually had to stop it because the crowds got too big.
Huh. Amazing. And he used that same kind of cynical genius with the free music for the millions thing, too?
Oh, right. Hiring the absolute worst musicians he could find.
Yeah, to play terribly on a balcony, driving New Yorkers completely crazy.
So what did they do?
They bought tickets to the museum just to get away from the awful noise and, boo the musicians from inside. He literally weaponized annoyance.
It's incredible. And remember Joyce Heth, the supposed 161-year-old automaton.
Vaguely, yeah.
When interest started fading, Barnum just pulled another stunt.
What did you do this time?
Sent anonymous letters to the newspapers claiming she wasn't even human.
Seriously?
Yeah, claiming she was made up of whalebone, India rubber, and numberless springs.
No way. And that worked.
Totally reignited interest. People, new and old audiences, rushed back just to see if this wild claim could possibly be true. The man just understood controversy.
He really did. The source says, once people's eyes are on you, you have a special legitimacy.
That makes sense.
He believed creating interest meant creating a crowd. And, like, any kind of curiosity, positive or negative, it all worked for him. He was ruthless about stealing attention from competitors.
And completely indifferent to whether the attention was good or bad.
Exactly. Utterly indifferent.
So this whole idea, commanding attention, even if it feels manipulative, it wasn't just confined to the circus, was it?
No, not at all. You see this principle popping up across different times, different fields. There's actually an old Indian fable about a wasp named Pintail.
A wasp.
Yeah, seeking fame. It stings a prince, causes this huge uproar, then stings courtiers, creates chaos all over the city.
Okay.
And the wasp, just before it dies, thinks, There's nothing like attracting notice at any cost.
Huh. So the message is the unusual, the striking thing. That's what cuts through the noise.
Whether it's a wasp or an artist, yeah. The spectacle matters.
And that desire for spectacle wasn't just for, showmen or fables, even in the really refined courts back in the Renaissance.
Right, like Castiglione's courtier figure.
Exactly. He understood the power of just pure visual presence. When jousting, he'd make sure his horse was beautifully caparisoned, his own clothes full of ingenious devices.
All designed to just magnetize the onlookers.
Yeah, making a spectacle of yourself, even in that supposedly highbrow setting.
And then you've got the Duc de Lauzun. What a fascinating character.
Tell me about him.
He was short, almost dwarfish apparently, and just notoriously insolent.
How so?
Slept with the king's mistress, openly insulted courtiers, even King Louis VI himself.
And he got away with that.
Not only got away with it, the king was apparently beguiled by how strange he was. Couldn't stand it when he wasn't around.
So the sheer oddity, the outrageousness kept him in the king's focus.
Exactly. It's kind of amazing how disruptive behavior could actually be an asset, right?
Yeah, it really is. And this principle, commanding attention, even through manipulation, it even stretched into the world of innovation, like that fierce rivalry between Edison and Tesla.
Oh, definitely. Edison knew. He absolutely knew. He had to stay in the public eye. For funding, for influence, everything.
So he did these flashy experiments.
Visually dazzling experiments, yeah. And he'd talk up these fantastic future inventions he probably had no real intention of pursuing.
Just to keep people talking about him.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tesla, who you could argue was more brilliant,
Right.
was far less known. Maybe less interest in that limelight game.
And didn't Edison refuse a joint Nobel Prize?
Reportedly, yes. Just to avoid sharing the spotlight with Tesla. He got that perception, public presence, was just as vital as the invention itself.
Wow. And if you're starting out, from a lowly position, the sources suggest this really provocative trick.
Which is?
Attack the most visible, famous, powerful person you can find.
Risky.
Totally. Like Pietro Aretino. Came from nothing, gained immediate attention by ridiculing the Pope.
The Pope. Wow. Okay, that's bold. But does that kind of thing have a shelf life?
It seems like it does. The warning is, use that sparingly. Once you have the public's attention, constant scandal can backfire. The act wears thin.
Okay, that makes sense. So you need to adapt.
Right. Like Picasso, he was a master of constant reinvention, understood this nuance.
How so?
He never let himself fade. If his name got too tied to one style, he deliberately upset the public, put out new paintings that went against all expectations.
It's like shaking things up intentionally.
Yeah, it's almost like deliberate self-sabotage just to stay relevant, isn't it? He apparently believed it was better to create something ugly and disturbing than to let viewers grow too familiar with his work.
And that gained him respect and kept the focus on him.
Exactly. Kept tightening his hold on attention by playing against what people expected.
Okay, so the core insight from this whole section is really about that relentless pursuit of the limelight.
Right. Making your gestures so large, amusing, and scandalous that the light just stays on you.
It's about being seen, no matter what, even if it means being controversial.
So, okay, we've talked about sensationalism, scandal, but what about a different way to grab attention beyond the shock value?
You mean mystery.
Yeah, exactly. The allure of mystery. Why are we so drawn to what we can't quite figure out?
Well, it's incredibly potent, isn't it? Especially in a world that can feel increasingly, banal and familiar, as the source puts it.
Right.
What seems enigmatic just instantly grabs attention. It invites layers of interpretation. It excites our imagination. We sort of secretly crave enigmas, things that aren't instantly obvious.
The less we get, the more we want to know.
Precisely. We lean in.
And Mata Hari is like the perfect example of this, isn't she?
Absolutely textbook. Marguerite the Zell shows up in Paris, 1904, basically broke.
Just one of thousands of young women looking for work.
But with much higher ambitions.
Right. And she had no formal dance training.
None at all. But she crafted this whole air of mystery around herself. Did these veiled dances in private homes, gradually taking off the veils.
Building the anticipation?
Exactly. And then a journalist wrote this really enticing report about a woman from the Far East, laden with perfume and jewels. That kind of solidified the whole persona.
She basically built a legend out of nothing.
Pretty much. And her performances were apparently startling. This bejeweled bra, a sarong that was pretty revealing.
And strange, trance-like movements.
Yeah, and she'd spin these elaborate stories about Indian myths, Javanese folktales. Soon, all of Parisian high society was competing for invitations.
Driven by rumors of sacred dances in the nude.
You got it. The rumors just added to the mystique.
And what's really wild is how she kept changing her backstory to journalists, right?
Constantly. Sometimes she was Dutch from Java, then she spent time in India, maybe her grandmother was a Javanese princess, or she grew up in Sumatra.
And that inconsistency didn't hurt her.
No, it only fueled the fascination. Journalists started comparing her to an Indian goddess. The less clear the story, the deeper the allure became.
Wow. Her opening night caused a riot, apparently.
It did. She became a total cult figure, inspired copycats. Reviewers just raved about her embodying the poetry of India, its mysticism, its voluptuousness, its hypnotizing charm, a complete sensation.
Her fame just exploded. But then, tragically,
Yeah. Near the end of World War I, she was arrested, convicted and executed as a German spy.
and the truth came out. She was just Margaretha Zell from Holland.
Exactly. Not the exotic mystery woman she'd created. And the sources suggest that maybe her endless lies about her origins were what ultimately made her seem suspicious.
Even if the spy charge itself was false.
Right. Her mystery in that high-stakes context kind of tipped over into looking like deceit.
So, okay, the less we understand, the more we're drawn in. But there's a tipping point where mystery becomes, like, suspicious.
Exactly. There's a fine line. Mata Hari's success really shows the power of the mysterious. It can't be fully grabbed and understood, and that creates power.
But you don't have to be that elaborate.
No, even subtle mystery can work wonders. The source mentions things like simply holding back, keeping silent, occasionally uttering ambiguous phrases.
Deliberately appearing inconsistent and acting odd in the subtlest of ways.
Yeah. It just makes other people constantly try to figure you out, keeps their attention focused on you.
That's a great point. Like Count Victor Lustig, the aristocrat of swindlers.
Oh yeah, him. How did he use mystery?
He cultivated this aura through like odd clothing choices, a medal or a flower that was always slightly out of place but intriguing.
Okay.
And he'd constantly get these fake telegrams delivered by his chauffeur, which he'd just tear up nonchalantly.
Creating intrigue.
Totally.
Yeah.
And he'd sit alone reading these impressive-looking books, but remain totally aloof.
Yeah, the result.
Within days, the whole hotel would be abuzz with interest about him. Made it super easy for him to lure suckers in with ease.
Huh. People were so curious they basically walked right into his scams.
Pretty much. And Marcel Duchamp, the artist, kind of did something similar, right?
Yeah, he made his art more intriguing by just saying very little about it,
Yeah.
offering maybe alluring, even contradictory comments.
And just letting other people interpret it.
Exactly. Let the mystery do the work.
And this tactic can even scale up to leadership, like Mao Zedong.
Absolutely. He deliberately cultivated this enigmatic image,
Yeah.
appeared inconsistent, contradictory.
Which gave him the upper hand.
Yes, and ensured constant public attention. Apparently, no one, not even his own wife, ever felt they fully understood him. That's a very powerful position.
Definitely.
But my favorite example of using mystery tactically is Hannibal, Second Punic War.
Oh, yeah. What did he do?
He was trapped by the Romans. So at night, he tied bundles of lit twigs to the horns of oxen.
Oh, okay. Strange.
Then he stampeded them. It created this illusion of a huge, terrifying army, all these moving lights and noise in the dark.
And the Romans.
Their sentries panicked and fled their posts, allowed Hannibal's army to escape.
Wow. So the tactic worked because it created a puzzle?
Exactly. A puzzle that captivated the sentries' attention and paralyzed their ability to reason. Pure psychological warfare through mystery.
So the core idea here really is about artful revelation, not total secrecy.
That's it. It's the gap between what you show and what you hint at. That's what captivates.
It's that dance of the veils metaphor again. What's revealed excites, what's concealed just heightens the interest.
Perfectly put.
But, okay, this can't be the right strategy for every single moment, can it? What happens when you push it too far? Or when the spotlight just isn't meant for you?
Yeah, there has to be a point of diminishing returns, right?
Exactly.
And that's the crucial nuance. Adaptation. Variation. The source says, never wear the public out with the same tactic.
Keep them guessing.
Right. And there's that fine line between mystery and deceit we talked about with Mata Hari.
Don't cross it.
You do not let your air of mystery be slowly transformed into a reputation for deceit. The mystery must seem a game, playful and unthreatening. If it feels like you're just trying to trick people, it backfires badly.
And Lola Montez, she's a perfect example of this backfiring, isn't she? Despite her incredible rise.
Incredible rise, yeah. Middle-class Irish background, to lover of Franz Liszt, then mistress and political advisor to King Ludwig of Bavaria.
Quite the ascent, but she made a fatal error.
A huge one. At a performance of Macbeth in London, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert were there.
And Lola.
Deliberately showed up after the Queen, swept into a prominent seat right opposite the Queen's box.
Seeking an entrance.
Oh yeah. Ostentatiously dressed. Diamond tiara, crimson velvet gown. She wasn't just attending, she was demanding attention.
And the consequence was?
Immediate and devastating. The royal couple deliberately avoided looking at her box. Just completely ignored her.
Ouch.
And the entire audience followed their lead. Ignored her for the whole evening.
Wow.
After that night, basically no one in fashionable society dared be seen with her. Her magnetic powers were reversed. Her career in England was over.
That's a powerful lesson.
Really drives home the point. Never appear overly greedy for attention then, for it signals insecurity.
And insecurity drives power away.
Right. Yeah. There are just times when it's not smart to be the center of attention. Especially, as the source notes, when in the presence of a king or queen. Bow and retreat to the shadows. Never compete.
So know your place, basically.
Know when not to seek the limelight. Lola's downfall is just a stark warning about that.
Okay. So we've heard how attention can be courted, right? Through scandal, sensationalism, that careful cultivation of mystery.
But also, critically, knowing when to step back, when to maybe bow out of the spotlight altogether.
Which raises, I think, a really important question for today.
How does all this historical stuff apply now?
Exactly. In our hyper-connected, always-on world, where pretty much everyone has a platform, how do these lessons translate?
Yeah, it's a different landscape, isn't it?
Think about the constant battle for clicks and likes and views online.
Are we all just sort of P.T. Barnums and Mata Harris now, in the digital age?
That's the question, isn't it? And if so, what's our Lola Montez moment that we need to watch out for? That moment where trying too hard for attention actually backfires.
It's definitely something to think about. The dynamics might be faster, the platform's different, but maybe the core human psychology around attention hasn't changed that much.
So maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to carry with you.
Yeah.
The next time you see someone really commanding the room, or maybe a story just captivating the entire internet, ask yourself, is this just raw charisma? Or is it maybe a carefully orchestrated deep dive into the art of attention?